What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Look, I'm at my office, Majestic Business Services. So I got my new setup over here. This is the first time I stream from my regular office. I usually stream sometimes from my home office. I want to have a quick live feed with you guys to share a story with you where I have a $35,000 line of credit that disappeared overnight, and really want to give you guys some insight to let you know what happened, how I recovered from it, and also what I did to set things in place so it didn't damage me if that would have happened again. Something like that would have happened again. Again, first, I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. You know, on Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel, we talk about personal finance, entrepreneurship, investing in business. Got over 400 videos on the YouTube channel covering business operations, business management, business finance. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So again, we're having a quick discussion with you guys in regards to it's a little choppy. I apologize for a little choppy. Just might be the connection. I don't know if there's anything I could do about that to kind of alleviate that. Let me see. I hope that's getting better, but as right now, I can't do anything as far as with the reception. We just connect to the web, and hopefully it just works from there. But I apologize if it's not coming in clear. I'm sorry about that. But again, I wanted to share this story with you guys in regards to how my $35,000 line of credit disappeared overnight. Just to bring you guys back, you guys know I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a accountant by profession. And one of my first businesses was my cleaning company, janitorial company. Pretty much it was 3 Sons Commercial Services. But, I got 4 sons, so at that time I just had 3. So 3 Sons Commercial Services, pretty much what we did was janitorial cleaning, residential cleaning, commercial landscaping, and some property management. So let's go back to 2007. The model that I used the company for was mainly with the janitorial services, even some of the landscaping services. What I would do, me being a disabled veteran, I would get these contracts out, and I would outsource the contracts to other small businesses. So I may have had a few that I actually went in there physically and did any kind of cleaning or any kind of cutting. But what I did more so, because I had access to get the contracts, I would get the contracts to say something for $5,000 a month, outsource it out for anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500 a month, and be able to clear that profit of $1,500 up to $2,500, $1,500 to $2,500 a month. My math is right, or $1,500 to $2,500 a month, depending on how everything was. And I did that for a couple of years and went pretty smooth with doing that. And saying that was the thing. We probably had a payroll between, when I say payroll, the actual vendors or the contractors that we had, probably running about $20,000 to $25,000 a month. But what I had was a business line of credit that I had got from Chase. Again, keep in mind this is 2007, 2008. So I had the business line of credit. So as a particular month will go by, let's use the month of May will go by. The people will work. I'll pay them with the line of credit, invoice out. You guys know anything about contract, commercial contracts. You'll send them out. It's usually net 30 and net 45 days. That means that pretty much when you send it out, you send the invoice out in the beginning of June. You may not get your payment till maybe the second week of July. So that's what we mean by like net 30, net 45 with getting your payments in. But all the while, you still got to pay your people. I've heard horror stories where people are working. The actual owner will tell the people, listen, I can't pay you right now because I haven't got paid. Well, that ain't. You don't want to run a business that way because, again, that's an easy way to lose your contracts because people can go out to your sites and tell some stuff up because they're pissed off because you didn't pay them. So that was pretty much the funding process that I did with paying my people. I used my business line of credit, paid them, and then when the invoices came in, I cleared the line of credit out. I went from there, and I kept the residual as my profit each month. I did that for probably about 3.5 years. Everything was going great. Fast forward, you had the market crash with the 07, 08, 09. I forgot the exact date, y'all forgive me. But long story short, we all remember what happened when the market crashed. When the market crashed, this is all going through with the whole real estate crash and everything. It was 0809, and that $35,000 line of credit went to $5,000 overnight. Again, I had a $35,000 line of credit that went to $5,000 overnight, and I was like, oh, I didn't know what to do. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm already a damn nerd, so I'm trying to sit here and figure out some stuff that really couldn't be figured out. Because at the end of the day, hell, you got it, you don't, you don't. And I didn't have it. And that was a real pivotal time with me as a business owner, because I had, when you're in business and everything's going great, you get this sense of invincibility, probably fake confidence that you really know what you're doing until something bad happens, and then you really like, damn, I really can't figure this out. And that's what was happening with me at that particular time. So again, like I said, I just woke up, market crashed, 0809, market crash, went one morning, $5,000 line of credit. They sent an email. They did send an email saying there's a change in your account. So you go and see, hey man, they made it bump me up from 35 to 40,000. I'm all optimistic. But they had brought my damn line of credit from $35,000 to $5,000. And telling me I got $20,000 I got to pay these people. So I had to go in kind of recovery mode to kind of see, okay, what am I going to do? How can I maintain my business to do this? Because again, you're talking about you got about 5 contracts. There was school systems. We had one courthouse. But I had these contracts going, and we sitting here like, how in the world am I going to continue to pay these people when their source of income is gone? And something kind of like when the pandemic hit, there are certain situations that you don't plan for because you don't think it can happen. And I didn't think that could happen with the reduction of the line of credit. Just before going further, guys, I hope you do, but I should preface this. Pretty much what a business line of credit is that is in essence is an availability of money or an availability of credit. So in essence, say if I have a $35,000 line of credit, the bank is giving me the opportunity to use $35,000. Like I said, my payroll is anywhere from like $20,000 to $25,000 a month. So I would use just $20,000 to $25,000 a month, and I'm only subject to pay interest on the amount that I borrow, the $20,000 to $25,000, not the whole $35,000. That's the between the line of credit as opposed to a loan. A loan, you'll borrow the whole $35,000, and you'll pay it over a certain amount of time at a certain amount of time, which is a term, or at a certain rate, which means the interest rate that you pay it for. So line of credit is the availability of the credit. You get charged on whatever portion you use. The loan is that you got the whole $35,000. So that's what I used, kept using the line of credit over for that. But again, I was in uncharted waters, so I never knew what the hell to do in regards to that. So, I'm all shook up. I had this stash of money in the bank. Well, I said, okay, cool. Well, I'll try to figure it out. Let's go a couple of months. And I just used my savings that I had made to kind of keep payroll going. So that went on for about 3 months. 3 months. So what didn't happen now? The line of credit hadn't changed. I'm going back and forth begging these banks. Can I get another line of credit? But again, the market crashed. Nobody was getting money. No one was getting money. And they were reducing everything. And so I'm going to all these different lenders, trying to get something to stay afloat, paying the cash savings that I had accumulated over the past couple of years to everybody cover the payroll. 3 months into it, I ain't had no damn money. And I did one of the most toughest things I had to do. I had to let them contracts go. Because one thing letting contracts go, is the other thing is you actually hurting relationships. What I mean by hurting relationships was, the people that are working for you, they're gonna feel some type of way because they ain't got a way to make any more money. But what's mainly hurting also is the people that you have the contract with. Again, the people that work for you, they feel bad, but they can go somewhere else and work. The people that gave you that contract. So now you can't go back to the school system. Now you can't go back to the course and this, that, and that, because you're showing, no matter if you had been maintaining for years, one bad instance, now you're showing that you can't handle it. And again, it was something out of my control. So I had to let those contracts go. Went through the whole psychological piece of it, feel like a failure, feeling bad, this, that, and that. But I say a lot of times on my channel, on my show, this one captain ain't finna go down with the ship. My stuff is not finna affect my business, is not finna affect my personal stuff, and I ain't finna be, loaning off my damn house and cars and stuff like that. Keeps on going, the solution isn't visible to me. Okay, so I did the painful part, had to let go of the particular contracts. Again, guys, talking about how my $35,000 business line of credit disappeared overnight, and I'm gonna give you guys some ideas on how to combat it for doing it. But again, it hurt me bad, man, because I worked so hard, and I always share you guys, I'm self-made. Everything I've done myself. I've had been lucky to have a lot of great mentors over the years, but I built everything piece by piece myself. So when I came to the conclusion, this is something to learn. I think a lot of entrepreneurs need to learn, especially in business. Like, you might sacrifice a lot of time and a lot of money. It's just like, sometimes people maybe get ready to get a car repossessed, or you maybe near an eviction or something like that. If you see that you can't get the damn thing fixed, walk away from it. Because what you don't want to do is keep trying to spend money, holding on to something because you put money into it already, and you end up putting yourself in a position you can't recover afterwards. So sometimes you gotta say, I gotta let that car go. I gotta let this business go. I gotta let this other thing go, because you still have other things to do. You got something called life, and you do not. I'm trying to fix these cameras. Got different angles. Remember, guys, we stream live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So, Octavia, the thing that, like I said, when you see those kind of things happen, when you know your business is going a certain way, you know that, hey, you can't pay the rent, you can't pay the car, let it go. Try to keep it, but don't sacrifice your future trying to keep on something you can't hold on to. So that was like I said, I went through the whole psychological piece. Like I said, we're going back to this 08, 09 when the market crashed. Had to let the cleaning business go. I still kept the cleaning business, but hell, that's just I got something from the secretary said, I ain't had no more contracts or any money coming in, and I also had the worst thing possible, a damn tarnished reputation because my business. I'm gonna have to let go of these contracts. So I was probably beat down. Still have my tax business and everything. I don't know if I had the salon. I think I still had the salon then. I was okay financially then. I just didn't. It just bothered me to lose because the money. I still had money coming in, so it was nothing that would have me in a poorhouse. But it was just again. That was something I felt very, very good about because we were doing pretty good. We're making the money. We're doing it. But I went through that whole little psychological funk for about a good year and a half, 2 years. Like, man, what the hell I did wrong? How could I do? Trying to, like, if I had some kind of imaginary crystal ball. And I want people to be thinking about this stuff when you're actually getting your business together. One of the key things I keep telling people. I got a phone call today with a young lady spoke with me. When you're looking at having these businesses set up, you have to know how much money you need to borrow. You just can't, I just need some money. I need some funding. You need to know how much you need to borrow. I knew that, the payroll was running 20-some thousand a month at least. So the 35 was sweet for me because, again, I had more than what I needed. But you got to sit there and say to yourself, if things like that happen again, how would you combat it? So what I did, because I went a couple years, I said, look, man, I'm gonna bounce back with it. Because what I always share to people is, once you know how to do something, you can always do it back. Like Too Short said, $1 million in there to spend, losing, get some new girls and get it again. You know what I'm saying? Just, if you can, once you got the game and you know how to make the money, you can always get it back. That was always my philosophy. I'd always want to get it back. Things that don't work, if it don't work, it crash, whatever. I know the blueprint on how to get it back. I can get past the little psychological piece where I ain't no failure, I feel bad, this, that, and that. I'm okay. but I always know the game on how to actually make the money back. So about 2 years later, got my head back together and stuff. Salon doing good, tag business, everything was straight. The thing that I learned, what I took it upon myself was to make sure that I had a system in place to be able to cover me for at least 6 months. So what I did was I just stacked the bread, stack money up. What I knew, when you bidding on contracts, just say you're doing a cleaning contract or a landscaping bid, you're always looking at, this is a key free nugget. When you bid on particular things, of course, most of the time they'll actually give the contract to whoever the cheapest, and they try to do that cheap, reliable balance. But most times, the person that's the cheapest is going to get it. The unfortunate part about a lot of times folks, especially new in the game, and they bid on these particular contracts, they underbid themselves and they actually doing the contract at a loss, right? Not taking into consideration supplies, fuel, back and forth, insurance, people working, all that stuff is not taken into consideration, but because they want a relationship with doing it, and I understand it, just that entry bid where you can say, oh, I proved myself, can I get another building? I get it, that's relationship. But what you have to sit there and, make sure you do all the math to understand that for me to make a profit, your profit is a dollar amount or a percentage, you know how much you need to charge, right? With that said, I kind of just started stacking my money up. Then I started, looking at things that I could bid for. That can go into a range where I was like, look, man, I know worst case scenario, if I can't get it, funding to cover the payroll, I at least got the money to the side. Coincidentally, in conjunction with me doing all this too, was I didn't have a ding on my credit. The lenders just reduced the available amount. But what I did was I was very, very, very proactive with talking about the lenders. I could never get that line of credit increased again, but I was able to call all the lenders and have credit cards and negotiate lower rates. I would take it upon myself every quarter to call all my lenders and stress to them like, look, man, I need a better rate. You got to work with me, whatever. Some bid on it, some didn't. So, there may be an inverse when one did or one didn't. So I'm doing two things: stacking my money up and also calling the particular lenders to negotiate better rates. I always make it a common practice, guys. Call your lenders, your credit card company, and ask for a lower rate on your credit card. I mean, they ain't gonna charge you to do it. Hey, you ain't gonna do nothing but lose maybe 10 to 15 minutes of your life trying to get it done. I'm sorry, I got these cameras over here. So you're not losing, just good common practice. Call, try to see if you can negotiate rates every quarter. Not every quarter, at least twice a damn year, to get that updated. So, put in for another contract. Almost 2 years later, math worked out. Cool, was able to do it. Had stacked up enough bread. Fortunately, there's never been another reduction in rates, even with the credit card. We're doing it. But I was able to do two things. Be able to have enough set up on the side. I figured, if anything bad happened, 6 months of carry. 6 months had that much just in case money, but also still go back to available credit. I'm not a big proponent in spending my money when you're doing no kind of businesses, only because when you're dealing with contracts, especially talking about government and corporate, they're gonna pay you. Now you're dealing with Mr. Charlie or Mr. Yang. You probably get your money, but it might be that real 60-day lag. So I say all that to say the more credible or trying to say something without being offensive, credible, reliable, have a person that you contracted through, especially if it's a government agency, your money gonna come. You just got to be kind of proactive with the in between. But if you can turn around and have that stuff forecasted out, you dealing with your lender, pay your people, got the residual, keep doing that. When the money come in, cover that again and do that cycle, you'll see your money stack up real quick. It's very, very difficult and dangerous when you're trying to do cash. you know, when we start thinking about credit, a lot of times people have adverse responses to credit only because they don't understand the whole process of using leverage. Using leverage to where if you got $250,000 in the bank, you got $250,000 line of credit. Theoretically, we look at it, you got $500,000 to actually go out there and spend. You just got to be able to know that whatever you're spending money on as a business owner, the ROI or return on investment, that rate is going to be higher than the cost to borrow the money. So if you know you're going to get a 15% ROI and your interest rate is only 8-9%, you winning. But that's the front end analytics we got to do, with that. And if I'm losing you with anything that I just said, we're trying to do all that front end math. It's very, very important. You do get you some kind of consultant, accountant, business attorney to help explain that stuff to you, okay? Because a lot of people do fail because they haven't done the front end. But people are masters of the task that they do. That master is what they the business they want to start, but they're not the best at the other things, the marketing, the accounting, the advertising, the management, things like that. All that stuff goes to the wayside because they never spend any time to try to make sure that's done, and that's done to taken care of. And once you get started, it's kind of too late because you kind of need deep trying to grow your business, run your business, as opposed to stopping, trying to put in some kind of accounting system. Let me read in here. Mass to max, how did you lose it? I hope you just, I just went through the whole spiel in regards to how I just woke up overnight. All the banks, it was for the market crash in 0809. All the lenders just took everybody line of credit. $35,000 to $5,000 overnight. That's what they did with a lot of people. A lot of people had other fortunate time because that's when a lot of people lost a lot of money in their retirement accounts and doing that. It was that way on 09. Just woke up. Hey, got an email. Hey, there's been a change in your account. Like I said, I was all hyped up. Yeah, they figured me 40,000. Me, they took it down to $5,000. But the good part about it, I learned a lot from that situation to be able to pivot around it. And I'm still a big proponent in using leverage. I never sit here and have $25,000 of my money tied up some damn payroll. Now, once if I can have the credit cards to do that, I would do that to cover it. And like I said, the rate of the credit card, the rate of that loan, or whatever, not the loan, the credit card that you got, because that's revolving debt. The rate has to be lower than the ROI of me having this contract. That's how I know I'm covering, give me a profit, right? But you got to be able to do that math to make sure of that. So I just want everybody to be kind of cognizant of that. There are things you can do to help mitigate losses. Some things are going to happen that you can't control. Like I talked about when the pandemic hit. Who knew everybody would be closed like 4 or 5 months? I'm sitting there holding a salon and a tag business. I'm thinking about paying commercial rent for, and I can't even go in there and use it. But I'm saying these people are expecting money from me. Even when they did restrictions, some of the landlords were like, hey, I understand, whatever, but I'll give you extra 30 days. What? Like, no, man, I can't even use stuff. But they didn't give a damn. And the other part of it is, what I thought was kind of jacked up, at the end of the pandemic, was even when things got lifted, it wasn't the same, because you had people that were working. You might be working in your establishment. They go out there and do stuff on their own for about 4 or 5 months. They get it like it. So one person came back to my shop, so I had to start from the beginning. So I just want, I'm just kind of sharing this with you guys because, again, this is a classic example of something happening that you really couldn't foresee or plan for. There's no way in the world you would have told me that line of credit could be reduced to $5,000 overnight. Now you could have told, they would have told me that, and I wouldn't have been prepared for it anyway. But what I just want, you guys to understand is be big thinkers when it comes to your business. And I always kind of write that list down there. When I always say that, write down all the things, the reason why you want to do your business. or the negatives, or you do your pro and con list about having your business. And that's not to make you not do your business; it's to help you protect yourself from certain things happening. Because hey, slow down in the fall. You have a clientele base with a very cyclical spending habits or whatever. You sit there and write that stuff down, and then what you do, that'll help you think and create ways to mitigate any losses that can happen from that. So again, I just want to share that quick story with you guys. And like I said, it was pretty damn traumatic for me when it happened. But like I said, I learned a lot from the whole situation in regards to that, especially like I say, just dealing with business credit. Like I say, again, we want to remember the difference between a business line of credit and a business loan. And a line of credit is the availability of a certain amount of money. That means that somebody, like in that case, $35,000 line of credit, I had up to $35,000 to borrow. So if I just borrowed the $20,000, that's on the amount that I was liable for, and I had to pay interest on the $20,000 instead of the whole $35,000. If you get a loan for $35,000, you'll pay that back at a certain rate, which is the interest rate, over a certain period, which is the amount of time you have to pay it back. I pretty much, if I need a loan, I get a loan, but a lot of times you can maybe just use a line of credit to kind of keep things maintained. That's what I use for that particular business. I had the availability of cash because it was something I needed to borrow just to bridge it over. That's what I used it for. But when it just went from here to here overnight, I wasn't ready for that. And it took a lot for me, especially psychologically, to recover from that. Not that I was thinking about jumping off a bridge, but I really was kind of moping about like, damn, man, I thought I had everything covered. But again, like I said, I am smart enough to know once you see the ship sinking, get the hell off the boat. There's too many people put money into dead end things. You know you can't keep paying these car notes. Let it go. You know you can't keep paying the rent at that office. Let it go. You know that equipment or whatever you got right there, you cannot afford to keep it. Unfortunately, stuff didn't happen. Let it go. Because you always got tomorrow. But sometimes we get looking at, I don't put this amount of money into this. I don't want to go to waste. You see it all the time in the repo shows. My car. If it was your damn car, don't like a repossession your car. It'd be technical. But I get the whole philosophy. I put money, I've sacrificed for this particular vehicle, but I'm not. You still got a lien holder. So I just, want you guys to understand if you see things not going in the right direction for you, don't be afraid to do something that's uncomfortable that's going to protect you in the grand scheme of things. Let me look see what I got here. IG God is love _20_21. Right. I just closed the doors on my adult day center. Mentally and financially, it wasn't working. And I understand. That's exactly how it was. And I appreciate you sharing that. God is love _21. I appreciate you sharing it because that was the thing about it. And even last year when I closed the salon up, like it wasn't working. It got to the point the math wasn't working. I ain't had an interest in it like I did before. Now I try to keep that cleaning coming. I'm not gonna lie to you, but at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not gonna go into my personal. Deonte ain't finna start, eating beanie weenies and burning candles and shit because I can't clean nobody's toilet. And they ain't finna happen. I'm gonna find another way to make some money. It's like I was kind of looking at myself as a failure. But that's why I want to share that with you people. I can be honest with you. I know how that feeling is. And that's why I see sometimes people hold on to things they don't need to be holding on to. And they actually be hurting themselves in the grand scheme of things, trying to keep that particular thing. Let that damn stuff go. Like, I'm very serious about it. You have tomorrow. You can recover. And what you got out of the whole situation, no matter how much money you lost, no matter how much stress you incurred, you got the game. You got the game. When you got the game, you can do it over again. You can sell a course. You can consult. You can do so much once you know how to do it. Because there ain't too many people know how to do it and have success with it. Once you do it, you can monetize this. Like I said, start it over. Build something different, teach people how to do it. All that stuff is available to you once you know how to do it. You just gotta have enough confidence in yourself and believe in yourself. That's the key. For a lot of people lose it, they ain't, man, I can't do this. The people ain't gonna do this. Don't go into that. Don't go into that. Other thing, this is a key component. I want you guys to make sure what we talk about all the time on Mr. Short Dollar, get access to capital when you don't need it. Be very, very diligent. We just went over the whole process of having lending, certain lending things set in place. But be very, very diligent to have conversation with your bankers at least once a quarter. Tell them, hey, listen, can I get a line of credit available to me? Like I said, I could never get that line of credit back up, right? But I've acquired other lines of credit since then. But for that particular business, that line of credit, I could never get it back up. And still got the business open up, nowhere near making the money I was before, but it's okay. But the having a relationship with your bankers and getting access to capital when you don't need it, just, hey, can we talk this month, every other month, or whatever, however you want to have it set up, but make sure that you have access to capital. So if you need the money, opportunity come, you can sit there and get on top of it, right? You don't need to have an opportunity, somebody offer you a contract, somebody offer you some kind of opportunity, and you break your neck trying to get some equipment. Get access to capital when you don't need it, okay? You very welcome. You very welcome. God is love _21. I just really want you guys to really think hard about that access to capital piece. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the time frame. I'm figuring to wrap it up, but I do want to make a couple announcements, guys. Right here at the end of May, we had a great month of May. I'm still trying to recover back from tax season, but I know we introduced the $50,000 Black Business Grant, which is an awesome opportunity for anybody, any Black business owners. The Minority Business Development, that's for any minority. I was just on TikTok. Somebody was calling it Black privilege. It doesn't help any other people of color. I mean, I'm gonna be straight up with y'all. A lot of times people miss out on the opportunity for two key things. They don't read and they don't damn listen. And at the end of the day, if you see minority, I mean, I think that's everybody except white. So I can't, at the end of the day, shit, I'm a helper. And I can, I ain't gonna be no elementary school teacher, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna provide information. But if I see it's minority business development program, I don't know what the hell to say if you just think it's just strictly for Black people. Well, there are a lot of opportunities out there in regards to that. Also got several other grant opportunities that's on there. Remember, on Mr. Short Dollar, we got over 150 grant opportunities. There are grants that we listed last year that are still active. They may renew every month, every quarter. Just go through the videos. Just go through the videos. I vet all of these grants. I will never ever, and I promise you, put anything out there that I haven't looked over to make sure it's something legitimate. Because that's why you're gonna stay on the finance channel over 5 years, because if you putting out crap, you won't last long. Especially we talking about with Google. So I vet all the grant opportunities. They're all legitimate grants. The issue come up is just there may be something during that process you may not qualify for. But a lot of times they want you to do a couple steps back to actually get it. And we had this conversation before. If somebody wants you to get a website or a YouTube channel going to get $10,000 and you're going to complain about it, I don't know what to say to you, because you do a whole lot more for a whole lot less outside of that. So I just want to be straight up with you with that. The $50,000 Black Business Grant, Minority Business Development. We had a video covering how to fill out your W-4. Had a lot of people that come to me a lot, because I am an accountant by profession, asking me, hey D, how do I fill out this W-4, because tax time come, I owe because I didn't put enough money in. So that video gave a good breakdown on how to fill out a W-4, how to fill out a W-9, what the purpose is, you being a independent contractor, that's your proof of identification with that. We got a lot of good videos. Why should you hire your children? I had a video on my top 5 side hustles to make you money while you sleep. My top 5 side hustles to make you money while you sleep. All this stuff is on Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. So make sure you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel, and take advantage of the information that we got on there. Let's see what we got on here. If anybody got any questions. Don't see anything. Kim Dawkins. Oh man, I missed a lot. What the beauty of it, Kim, and I appreciate you tuning in. Hey, listen, it's here forever. It's a live feed, but it's here forever. So don't trip. Just go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Hey, it's here. Trust me, it's not going anywhere. It'll be there forever. So whatever you miss, you better go back and just check out. But I'm glad we had this conversation today where I shared something that happened in my life. I can laugh about it now, but the boy was bumping in the damn walls. You start going from you netting anywhere from 10, $15,000, usually about $10,000 a month on some stuff you ain't really doing. Oh, it's on and popping. And then all of a sudden all this stuff go away, and then all the money you done made doing it is gone. I felt like a capital SUCKE. Oh, and damn the y'all A on the end of it. I was sucker, boy. And all that money, it taught me a lot on not to have, especially during the pandemic, not to have false confidence that certain things can't happen. I did learn that, but also to plan. Like I said, guys, remember, get that list on any kind of business opportunity that you're in or currently thinking about, and write down that list of reasons why you want to do it, why you wouldn't do it. Again, not to make you not do it, but to give you insight on ways to mitigate any losses. Or we say, Celeste Williams, I'm about to go to the beginning and watch. Hey, do that. Do that. Like I say again, I've had a lot of different business experiences over the years that I share with you guys about the successes, the failures, and everything. And, so I hope you guys learn from it, because fortunately for me, I've had a lot of great mentors that been able to share some of the information. So I didn't have too many bumps on my head, but when I have them, I like to share them with you guys. Okay, it's this right here. Guys Love 21. My business is a 501c. My business is a 501c3. I'm sitting there putting this stuff. I need to put this on here. Okay. My business is a 501c3 registered with the state of Texas. However, when it comes to applying for grants, I really don't have the staff to write in on the grant. Well, the only way you mitigate that, to be totally honest with you, you got two options. Either hire somebody, and I understand if funding is an issue. The other thing is you can go to Fiverr or Upwork. We have a link on the Mr. Short Dollar for the Fiverr link. You use our affiliate link for that, or you can go to Upwork. Upwork tends to have more professional freelancers, both on the freelancer websites. Upwork usually tends to have more professional freelancers. We can get attorneys, grant writers, architects. There are some on Fiverr, but I would just say if you're just looking for situational grant writers instead of somebody that seems to do it, I would definitely go on Upwork and find somebody that should be able to help you with that. It's a great site to use. I've been using both of them for years with that. So definitely try Upwork and Fiverr in regards to that. But I want you guys to really just be very, very diligent. You know how I am. I'm super hyped. But anybody want to go down the road of entrepreneurship and start their business up or make that business better than what it is, I get super hyped about that. So please take advantage of all the great information that we currently have on the YouTube channel. Okay, a lot of great over 400 videos on the YouTube channel. 400 videos. Okay, and I ain't talking nothing. Well, I'm just telling you to go get your LLC and EIN. I did the video. Wasn't that? Let me double check right quick before I start saying something wrong. Okay. What was that video we did? They did a video. I want to make sure. Yeah, I did the whole breakdown, guys, the other night on Mr. Short Dollar on the show, where I broke down the sole proprietorship, C Corp, S Corp, LLC, the pros and cons with each one of them, the tax, the way things are handled from a tax perspective. Go check that out on Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, man. That was almost an hour and a half show, but I went through each one to define them, give the pros and the cons, because a lot of times I've seen a lot of videos people are giving out information that is somewhat correct, especially when we start dealing with S Corps, where you can pay less money in taxes and bigger that income. Yeah, but you got to have somebody getting a wage. When I mean wage, a W-2 employee. You taking money out of your business account and putting your personal account is not a wage if it's not reported to the IRS. So I want you guys to understand it. That's a draw. That's a withdrawal. If that disbursement is not reported to the IRS, and you turn around and write that on your taxes as payment or whatever, and you get audited, I'm telling you, it's going to be a double dingle on your business return and your personal return, depending on how it's filed. Because again, any income that you pull in or withdraw from that business that you're writing off as payroll or independent contractor, if you do not report that income, you're going to have a problem if they find out. And definitely when we start talking about C Corps and S Corps, they need a person with a wage, not a 1099 employee, a W-2 employee. Not a 1099 employee, a W-2 employee. Remember, guys, I'm an accountant. So I'm saying, telling you these kind of things, and a person can tell you that, listen, you would have paid less money in taxes in the grand scheme of things by having an S Corp. I get it, and that's the truth. But if you know you don't have time, the young lady just speaking about she have a hard time finding a grant writer. If you know that your time is focused on working on the business, building the business, you don't have a system in place to take care of payroll taxes and get that, you do not want to start that monster up because you think penalties and fees can accrue quick on a late tax payment. You start dealing with payroll taxes. Please, I'm telling you, do not go down that road if you don't know you have a proper system in place. I want you guys to grow. I want you to get your system in place. We got videos on how to set up systems in your business on Mr. Short on YouTube. Check out the videos for setting up systems. All this stuff on there. Check out the videos on how to set your goals, how to implement your goals. All that stuff is on Mr. Short on YouTube. Go to the YouTube channel, search the channel, that stuff will pop up. But guys, if you know that you're not going to be diligent enough to have those things in place, don't get it started, okay? Don't get it started. So listen, I'm about to wrap everything up for today. Try to do at least 2 or 3 live feeds a day. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope we were very helpful with the information that we gave out to you guys today. Again, like I said, I'm up here at my Riverdale office today, so I have a little setup. So I hope everything went pretty smooth. I don't know how the audio piece is because I didn't think about it. I need to get a mic in here, but I'm on the MacBook, so hopefully that kind of got my the sound and everything okay. It didn't get any complaints about it, so I hope everything went pretty smooth. But look, guys, it's been a pleasure. Hope you guys had a great Memorial Day weekend. With that said, we're going to have an awesome month of June. I just need one favor, you guys. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, but definitely share the information. Tell many people you know to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also make sure you hit the bell to get a notification each time the video is uploaded. So again, right now we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. The main hub is the YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe and tell your family and friends to subscribe as well. Like I said, May was off the hook. Videos on why you should hire your children, the LLC, C Corp, and all that stuff. It was man, I was just going through that list, man. We were poking their eyes out. The W-9, break-even analysis. Do you know the difference between a CPA, accountant, or a bookkeeper? People tell you all the time, go get your CPA, but you don't really have anything that intricate that needs a CPA. You might just need an accountant. You might just need a bookkeeper. Check that video out. The impact on burning bridges in business. I did that also. How to scale your business. Again, that don't ignore insurance. Some insurances you just can't ignore. These kind of insurance you got to have. All that came out in the month of May. So make sure you backtrack, check out the information we have, and then check out the videos we had the past couple of years. A lot of great information. But trust me, the month of June is going to be just as much off the hook. Make sure you check out, I think we got my other YouTube channel, Change Lives, where we talk about personal development, family, and everything. I think the show for that comes on this Thursday. But you please make sure you subscribe to that channel as well. Just a totally different channel in regards to the content. But again, we got an awesome Thursday plan for you guys. From the bottom of my heart, I want to tell you guys thanks for all the love and support. I really appreciate you guys. I want you to be safe out there. And again, make sure you stay tuned in and subscribe to everything on Mr. Short Dollar. Take care, guys. Peace, everybody.